Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the hidden stories in corporate filings. Today, we're diving into Foghorn Therapeutics Inc. Its latest report, and let's just say they're not exactly shouting about their progress from the rooftops, but we'll decode what that quietness might mean. Before we dive in, if you love getting clear, easy to understand breakdowns of important company news and financials, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And for more community insights and discussions, join our Discord server linked in the description below. Alright, so what we have here is a Form 8K filing from Foghorn Therapeutics Inc. Think of an 8K as a current events report for publicly traded companies. It is used to announce major events that shareholders should know about, like big news mergers, or in this case, something a little more subtle. So, the main point of this filing isn't some earth-shattering event. Foghorn is essentially telling the world that they're going to be talking to investors and presenting some information. They're furnishing a presentation dated November 2025, and they're putting it out there for everyone to see. This is a Regulation FD disclosure, which is basically a fancy way of saying they are making sure to share important information with everyone at the same time, so no one gets an unfair advantage. Now, what is in this investor presentation is the real what if here, since it is November 2025, we're assuming this is either a very recent update or a look ahead at their plans. Companies use these presentations to highlight what they think is important, to get investors excited or to explain their strategy. We don't have the actual presentation itself in this document, just the company announcing they are distributing it. Let's look at what we do know about Foghorn Therapeutics Inc. They are a biopharmaceutical company, and their stock trades on the Nasdaq Global Market under the ticker symbol FHTX. The company is incorporated in Delaware, and its central operations are based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. They are identified as an emerging growth company, which means they get some regulatory flexibility as they grow. So, the big takeaway from this specific filing is that Foghorn Therapeutics is likely preparing to communicate with investors, and they are using this 8K to officially announce they are providing an updated presentation. This means we should be on the lookout for that presentation, which will contain the real meat of their current business updates, financial highlights, and future outlook. Without the actual presentation content, this 8K is more of a heads up than a deep dive into numbers. Usually with these filings, we'd be poring over financial statements, looking for revenue growth, profit margins, and cash flow. But here, the focus is purely on the notification of an upcoming investor interaction. This could signal they have some positive updates to share or potentially some challenging news they need to carefully explain. The fact that it is a standalone 8K for just furnishing this presentation suggests the information itself is considered significant enough to warrant immediate public disclosure without waiting for their next quarterly or annual report. Now, let's think about what this might mean for Foghorn Therapeutics. As a biotech company, their progress is often tied to their drug development pipeline, clinical trial results, and potential approvals from regulatory bodies. An investor presentation would typically cover these milestones. They might be announcing positive results from a clinical trial, a new partnership, or progress towards bringing a new therapy to market. Conversely, it could be a strategic shift or an update on funding needs. The critical piece of information missing here is the content of that November 2025 presentation. That is where the real story would be. Is it about new drug candidates, success in late-stage trials, or maybe a strategic pivot to focus on a different therapeutic area? Without that, we're left to speculate. However, the act of filing this suggests management believes this information is material to investors. What can we infer from a lack of specific financial data in this filing? It tells us that this isn't a financial results announcement. If they had major revenue or profit shifts to report, especially negative ones, they would likely be disclosed in a more comprehensive filing, like a quarterly 10Q or annual 10. This suggests the focus of the upcoming investor communication is likely on operational progress, pipeline updates, or strategic initiatives rather than just the raw numbers for the past quarter. The fact that they are an emerging growth company is also important context. These companies can often be more volatile, with their valuations heavily influenced by future prospects rather than current profitability. Therefore, any updates on their drug development pipeline and regulatory milestones are crucial for understanding their long-term potential. So what is my take on this filing? It is a signal Foghorn Therapeutics Inc. is about to communicate something important to its investors. The fact that they are doing it through a furnished presentation via an 8. K means they want to ensure broad and simultaneous disclosure. Are they about to announce a breakthrough that will send their stock soaring? Or are they managing expectations about a setback? We don't know yet, but what we do know is that the real story is in the presentation they are about to share. The key risk here for investors is the uncertainty. Without the actual investor presentation content, it is hard to gauge the direction of the company. Opportunities lie in potential positive pipeline news that this presentation might reveal. This filing is essentially an invitation to pay close attention to Foghorn Therapeutics in the coming days. My conclusion is that this 8K filing is a placeholder, a heads up that more significant news is on its way. It is not the news itself, but the announcement that news is coming. For followers of Foghorn Therapeutics, this is a cue to actively seek out and analyze their upcoming investor presentation once it is released. Alright, that is our quick decode of this Foghorn Therapeutics Inc. 8K filing. What do you think this filing means for the company? Are you expecting good news or bad news from their upcoming investor presentation? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. If you found this deep dive helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community for more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.